Welcome back. The leadership at the state capitol in Pierre is changing for the 100th South Dakota legislative session. Joining us now are members of the executive board for the Senate, all new to the positions they now hold. Democratic Senator Liz Larson, the minority leader, is here with us in studio. Republican Senators Chris Carr, the Senate Pro Tem, and Jim Melhoff, the Senate Majority Leader, are with us over Zoom. Thank you all for joining us today.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you for having me.
So to get things started
Lauren,
off,
appreciate it.
To get things started off, how are you all feeling after the recent election went?
Go ahead, gentlemen.
Go ahead, Chris.
Okay. Well, I feel great. I imagine everybody that made it through the elections felt great. It was a great election process. But if you've ever ran, you know the time and nerves that go with it. And it's just good to be done with that so you can move on, start focusing on the job as well as get back to your family and all the other things in life. So
I'm feeling very good about it. I did not have a general election personally, but I was very concerned about a lot of the ballot initiatives that were decided on and constitutional amendments. I was generally pleased with the way everything went. And of course, nationally, Senator Larson may have a different opinion, but I was very pleased with how things went nationally as well.
Yeah, obviously things didn't go how I wanted them to go, but it's very, especially if you're an incumbent, it's nice when that election part is over because you keep getting pulled to do policy work during the summertime, and that's where you can actually write the best policy and build coalitions and talk to people about different policies you want to do. But when you're running an election, then you're kind of distracted with doing that. So I'm excited to get back to the policy after this election is now over.
And you are all new to your positions. Senator Carr, to the chamber itself as well. What does this mean for your parties in the Senate? Senator Carr, you can start.
sure. I am very excited to be in the Senate, and I'm just honored, and what a privilege it is to serve as the future Senate Pro Tem. So really appreciate the caucus appointing me and hopefully get confirmed, in January. Looking forward to the opportunities that lie ahead for us, in not just the Senate, but the whole legislative body and working with the executive branch as well. I think we can do a lot of great things. I'm looking forward to it very much.
Senator Melhoff, what do you think this means for your party?
Well, I think what it means for the party, and more specifically our caucus and our chamber, is that there's going to be a different style of leadership than what we've had the last 2 years. Not necessarily better or worse, but it is going to be different in the way we interact with our fellow senators and do business on the floor and with the other chamber and working with second floor.
And Senator Larson, how about for the Democratic Party?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, for sure. So you are new to your position, and so what does this mean for your parties in the Senate?
For me specifically?
Yeah.
Well, I think like Senator Melhoff said, there are going to be a lot of changes all around. There's a lot of freshmen who are coming in. I myself am in this role for the first time. I think that there's going to be a learning curve, but because there is also a lot of experience and a lot of mentorship that I have to lean on, I get along with everybody in the Senate pretty well, and I'm not afraid to ask questions. And so I just feel like thus far, in my experience, it's been a supportive environment. So I'm looking forward to leaning on people as mentors to help me and to understand how we do the job and get things done.
Now we kind of want to take a look at your priorities for this upcoming session. Senator Larson, what are you focused on?
So for me, I think the number one thing is protecting and investing in public education. I'm a graduate of Lincoln High School. I won't mention the year, and Patrick Henry before that, and Horace Mann before that. Those are all schools in Sioux Falls. And so I'm a big believer in public education. And it's sad that, amongst other things, our teacher pay has been very low, but other investments in public schooling have been going down recently too. So I think a lot of our number one priority is just making sure that our schools are supported. The other thing is that we really have to look at lowering costs for South Dakotans, and that can take the form of a lot of different things, whether that's ensuring Medicaid expansion goes out appropriately, whether, it's the cost of food. It's a lot of other things that have higher costs these days that we'll probably be looking at.
And Senator Melhoff, what are you focused on?
Well, personally, I'm focused on having a successful caucus, a functional chamber, and a successful legislative session working with the other chamber and second floor. As far as my personal focus, I have not developed a lot of personal agendas that I plan to put forward. I will be bringing a couple of bills. I'm not ready to talk about them at this time, but I'm interested in working with our caucus to determine exactly what the caucus priorities are and how we can advance them and work with the other chamber and the other branch.
And quickly, Senator Carr, what are you focused on?
Yeah, thanks, Lauren. Well, I'd say, Jim kind of nailed it. Want to make sure that we have the processes in place, make sure that we are governing with integrity. And so that's my position is a lot about looking inward, process and organization. We need to work on setting priorities within the Senate, with the legislature, then work with the executive branch to address those priorities. I'm hoping we can do so and identify those, announce them, before session starts. I can tell you that some areas that we're going to be watching and looking. For me, I'm an 8-year appropriator. I was chairman for 4, and we're watching revenues because all the things that are important, those services that we need. Senator Larson touched on education, our Medicaid providers, our state workers. All of those things really revolve around if we have the dollars to pay for those services. Our revenue is weak right now. We need to be watching that. As this develops in November, December, and January, those returns come in, is going to dictate a lot about our session and the things that we're going to be able to prioritize, whether we want to or not. So that's going to be a major focus that I'm going to be watching. And I think there's going to be a couple other topics that are going to pop up. Property tax relief keeps popping up and growing throughout the state with the revenues the way they are. I'm not sure we're going to be able to do anything significant, but I think it's something we're going to at least have to look at. And I think there's a host of other things, but I have not set a priority other than watching our revenues.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with the legislative leadership.